Okay, I think we're live. Let's check. Hold on. Okay, I think we're live. Let's check. Hold on. Okay, yep, we're good. Sorry if you just heard myself. Oh, also, let me do this real quick. Hold on. One more thing I want to do before we start getting into the attempts. Okay. Alright, hold on. Just... I don't really know. I'm sorry if you can hear people talking in the background. Apparently Argentina's playing today against Egypt, and everyone's going crazy. Messi just scored or something. I'm not sure. I'm not big into football, so soccer, whatever we're gonna call it. I've always found that weird, honestly. I'm from America, okay? I don't think that's enough to dox me. I don't think you can triangulate my position based off that. But like we call our football is like American football. So anyone watching from outside of that, I've always thought it made more sense for soccer to be called football because you're actually using your feet, and for American football to be like handball. Like besides punting, you don't really use your feet at all. I've always found that weird. Anyways, oh, you know what? Let me check. Let me do one more thing real quick before I, you know. All. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I think I fixed it. So we're good to go. Once I just set all this up. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, this is just gonna be my first even time opening Celeste today, so if I die on you skip room 10 times, it's not my fault. It's probably my fault, but whatever. I was fighting between if I should stream or if I should stream attempts or if I should take a nap, and I was like, I'll probably just stream. I really wanted to take a nap, but I'm like, if I do that, then I'm gonna be staying up late because I'm gonna be too tired. I'm gonna be too awake for anything to go to sleep. So I should probably just do something, and I thought, I'll get some attempts in. Anyways, so for today, I kind of wanted to talk about my thoughts on the finale to The Amazing Digital Circus. Because I've seen a lot of people talking about it online. I was just like, that might be fun to talk about for a stream. Doing some runs, just get my thoughts out on all of it. So, I've been here since episode... I've been watching the show since episode 1 came out. Because I was a fan of SMP4, so I've been with Glitch since the Meta Runner days. Actually, never finished Meta Runner, but I haven't watched the first season. I thought it was alright. Then I watched 2 episodes of Sunset Paradise, and also 4 episodes of Murder. I could never get into Murder Drones. The Amazing Digital Circus is the... There's no way I sleep that. Well, gotta do the long way. Anyways, The Amazing Digital Circus is the first of their shows that really stood out to me. I don't know, I just thought the concept was cool, and because I've been watching for a while, I've always kind of thought that spoilers for the show, by the way, that everyone is, they're probably just digital copies. So cool to see that was the truth the whole time. I thought it was pretty obvious after episode 1 where they zoom out and there's no body or anything at the headset. So anyway, but the point is, mostly when I talk about the finale, I know a lot of people are mad that they did too much with Jax, but do I think they did too much? Yeah, but do I think it needed to be done? Yeah, they could have probably spread it out better. They really could have used more. We really needed filler episodes for a show like this, where it's about building the cast out. We really needed more filler episodes to expand on the rest of the cast. I don't think the finale would have been nearly as critiqued if we had filler episodes to flesh out the rest of the cast and give them proper arcs instead of just single episodes. Anyways, let me focus on this. Okay, cool. Yeah. My favorite character from the show is probably Kane. I really like the design of his character. I'm always a fan of, what I call Kane a villain. Not really. More just kind of somebody who had the biggest crash out of all time. And honestly, if you look at if you really put yourself into his perspective, the one thing he's been made to do, he was originally abandoned by his creators for not doing that job well. So instead of saying, You know what? I'm gonna prove, instead of like taking some time back and saying, okay, let's see what I did wrong and work on it, he doubles down and says, no, they're the ones in the wrong. My adventures are great. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And to have the exact same thing happen to him again, where everyone's rejecting him, you know, that's a pretty valid crash out. I would crash out if I find out I was made for one purpose, and I'm bad at doing shit. Hold on. Okay, let's redo that. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, that was interesting. But yeah, no, I would probably crash out if I find out that I was bad at the one thing I was made to do. That's a pretty justifiable crash out. My entire purpose. I'm bad at my sole purpose. That's kind of like that's basically saying, that's basically everyone in the circus saying, you mean nothing to us. So I just think that kind of character is really interesting. Anyways, first run of Event Horizon entry? That's kind of insane. This is very different from the first stream where I kept dying on the first checkpoint over and over and over again. So I'm probably just gonna lock in the rest of this run. The character who I think had the most missed potential in the show was Gangle, definitely. They could have done so much with the concept of like Jax abstracting, like, yeah, she has no reason to cry for him. Yeah, sure, he was going through a lot, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he was a terrible person. Alright, hold on. You know what? Sorry if like there's still one viewer that may or may not be watching. I'm gonna lock it for the rest of the stream, or for the rest of this attempt, so yeah. Why did I jump? I don't know why I jumped. It's annoying. Okay, whatever. Anyways. Yeah, I think the character with the most missed potential was Gangle. They could have done so much more, but like, I'm pretty sure I was looking, there was a chart that showed how many lines each character's got in each episode. And Gangle only got 10 lines in the entirety of the finale. Which, like, that's so much missed potential. There's such an interesting thing you could have done with her character there. Gangle is Mr. Potential. How Greaseworks said there was going to be no ships within the show, and then immediately just took back her word once the finale came and she put Super and Gangle together. I thought that was kind of funny. What am I doing? Hold on. Also, whatever characters. Oh, my second favorite character is probably Kinger. And I do still kind of wish they did more of him in the finale. I think he could have done a lot with explaining the lore. Again, I really think the finale should have been split up into like 2 or maybe even 3 episodes. You can keep the finale a 1 hour special, but like we needed 1 more episode there. I know season 2 is never gonna happen, but as for season 2, I would love to see them trying to cure the abstractions. And I know Gooseworks said that there's no cure to abstraction. She also said there would be no shipping in this in the show, and then Zuko and Gangle are doing their deed at the end of episode 9 and the end credits. So you know, yeah. I doubt we're ever getting a season 9 though, or season 2, sorry. What do you think it would be cool though? I really wish we got to see more flashbacks of Rimmit, like just chilling. If I want a prequel show, I know this is gonna sound like everyone's gonna be mad at me for saying this, but I want a prequel show about Jax. Because I think a prequel show about Jax would be cool, just so we can get more Ribbit, honestly. More likely show would be a Scratch show, or like a Kinger show that shows like the beginnings of the circus. I think that'd be kind of cool. But then you also have to have like endings for those shows, and like if you can't really just like say the ending. Like, you have to have a satisfying end to the season, right? How are we gonna have a satisfying end when we know the characters are basically just suffering until the end of the original show? So I don't know how you could do a satisfying ending. Like a Kinger show would probably end with Queenie's abstraction. And that's just a depressing end. Or maybe like a final episode with like Ragatha joining and Kinger finding new meaning in his digital life or something. That might be a cool idea. To give that show like a everyone's happy finale vibes, and instead of, you know, well, we're still all sad until the end of the main series. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Fast bubble. Another character who I feel like had a lot of missed potential was Ragatha. I think Ragatha and Gangle are the 2 most missed potential characters in the entire show. I know, like, Ragatha barely even had a dedicated episode to her. Episode 5 was supposed to be our episode, and it was mostly, honestly, just a Jax Part 1 episode. I feel like episode 2 is more. I feel like episode 2 would have been a good place to explore Ragatha's character. Honestly, like episode 1 being the Pomni episode, episode 2 the Ragatha, episode 3, Vikinger/Zool, episode 4, Gangle, then have episode 5 and 6 focus on Jax, episode 7 and 8 on Kane, episode 9 and a potential 10 wrapping things up. Because Kane is also an interesting character, you know. Kane probably deserves his 2 episodes. Or like I guess the Escape the Circus adventure doesn't really have to do specifically with any character. I mean, we get a lot of Jax in it, right? I guess it would be a nice transition from the Jax arc to the Kane Crash Out arc of the show. I think that's the main purpose of episode 7, because the Jax, like, you know, we end the episode on a Jax almost like having flashbacks to his real life, and then he also, but also with Kane's, the seeds planted for Kane to begin his Crash Out. So, you know, and like, wow, I'm just going off today. Like, this is insane. 2 Event Horizon entries. This is like early into the stream. Should I do a funny thing? Do a funny thing. I was gonna do the skip, but I was like, I'm not wasting 6 minutes of my life. Also, I figured out how how my determination run ended. Apparently, that's dumb. I don't know how it died there. I don't think I jumped high enough, but anyways. I figured out how that run ended. It was because apparently the Minecraft launcher can also be controlled with a controller. So there's a weird glitch I have sometimes where usually when you tab out of Celeste, it like minimizes it. Sometimes it doesn't though. So technically I had Celeste open, but I was really tabbed into the Minecraft launcher. So as I was playing, I don't know why I did that. Every button I hit would do something in the Minecraft launcher, which eventually led me to like a Realms ad, which eventually when I hit A, or the dash, I don't know why I did that, the dash, or I don't even, the jump button after I was in the feather, it made me select something, which opened the browser and also finally minimized Celeste, causing me to die, which was really dumb. And I would have hated that damn it. I would have hated for, what am I doing? I would have hated for that to happen later in the run, so I'm honestly kind of happy it happened at least at determination. Not when I got to something like Recon. That would have been annoying as hell. But, you know, it goes on. I'm probably gonna have like way more determination deaths, by the way. Because I died around when determination starts getting real in this one feather room, and I really don't like feathers, by the way. The feathers are my least favorite mechanic in this entire game. Just because it's like a 3D movement thing with a D-pad, and it feels weird. There's probably some people who like it though, so, you know. And not 3-dimensional movement, 60. I could have made it, honestly, if I just kept holding right. What am I doing? What other characters have I not talked about? I guess Pomni. I think Pomni is a fine protagonist. And actually, no, I think Pomni's a good protagonist. She does exactly what she needs to do. She's a regular person. You know, all these other... Have I just done that again? Like, I don't... all these other people are people who clearly have issues, and Pomni just being a regular person who can adapt to the circus really fast and be able to like give them that spark of hope that they need to keep on pushing, you know? I remember Matt having the theory saying Pomni is Jesus, and it got memed everywhere. But honestly, looking back on it, in a way I could see you drawing a parallel. You know, she's not like literally healing everyone of all their issues, but she is doing some healing. She's giving everyone a new spark of hope. And honestly, that hope is kind of what causes Jax to retract. Like, Jax retracting was not anyone's fault but Jax. Pomni offered him hope, and he refused, because the last time someone offered him hope, he accidentally made them kill themselves. So, he pushes her away. He refuses the help that he so desperately needed, which causes him to retract. So, I think Pomni's character is just what she needs to be. Whatever. There's one more I feel. Oh, Zubul. Zubul is good, I think. I like Zubul. What am I don't know why I wave dashed into that. That was weird. But no, I think Zubul's fine. She's a good mentor for Gangle, I think. Her and Gangle have a lot of similarities in their characters and their arcs, both feeling disappointed and disappointed in some part of themselves. I saw a video by the Insightful Llama. I don't know if anyone's heard of her before, but she's pretty underrated, I think, in my opinion. She has really good like video essays. She had one like where she rewrote the entire FNAF movie. And besides for a few minor complaints that I'd have to rewatch the video to fully remember what they were about, I think it was a good movie. Or a good rewrite. Oh yeah, that was the one thing. The crying child, Garrett possessing Golden Freddy, I thought was weird. I think the 5 missing children should be its own incident, you know? I think a cool story would be Mike's brother goes missing at the during the missing children's incident. Garrett goes missing during the missing children's incident, and one of Michael's main motivations to take the night shift there is to somehow put his brother back together. You can make a dumb reference to that. I think that'd be a cool plot, but I see what they were doing. I like the Abby storyline. I really think Mike should have died in the FNAF 2 movie to set up a 30-year time skip for an adult Abby to take on Springtrap. I think that would have been cool, but clearly we're not going to do. I don't think they're going to do a full 30-year time skip. They're probably going to do some sort of time skip, but nothing that big. If anything, I think it'd be cooler to get a sister location movie before we get to the FNAF 3 movie, just to give the actors some time to age. I think that'd be cool, like a spin-off movie focused on the Mike Afton. So I know there's 2 of them now, so it's kind of weird, but you know. I did it again. I saved it again somehow. I don't know how I did that. Like I know it's possible, but I've done that like mistake so many times that I've never been able to get that save off consistently. Apparently I can't now. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking. They do that sometimes. There's no way. Oh. Of course I grabbed it. Of course I... no. Of course I messed it up like that. That's annoying. Thought I saved it. So if stream ends out of nowhere, I probably have to go down and help my parents. They are currently cleaning my dogs, I think. But they probably won't let me, they probably won't make me have to go to work in an hour or so. You know, fun stuff. Yeah, overall I thought the Amazing Digital Circus finale is overhated. It's a good finale. I think it does exactly what it needs. There's some things I wish it expanded upon, but for Jax's character specifically, I think it does what it needs to do. I think it's what Jax's character needed. Other characters still needed more, but this is what Jax's character needed. Like the scenes where he sees where everyone, what he would do, everyone abstracted, could probably be cut or shortened. I think we get the gist. If we just like saw his masks, his different masks hanging out in that bar, I think that would be enough, honestly. I think it does a decent job at portraying what it wants to. Like, I get the point. He's masking his feelings for all of his different. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about this. Brings up a number point too. I remember the insightful mom video about Gangle. She's making like character analysis currently, like weekly, posting a analysis on each character, and I think they're really good. She made on her Gangle video. She talked about how what was it? I can't remember. If I remember, I'll come back to it. I was gonna say something, but I got distracted talking about her FNAF movie rewrites. She talked about Gangle and Jax having parallels for masking and the different like kinds of like good and healthy. Like Gangle is a kind of healthy kind of masking, kind of like masking to be who you want to become. So like Gangle's happy mask isn't like, it doesn't just make her happy. It just gives her the ability to be who she wants to be in the future, but then her sad mask is who she actually is, you know? And then the employer mask is kind of like a mix of a manic episode and masking too far and to the point of depression, you know? I think that was a good take on her, on the different Gangle masks. It's probably what I believe now. I think she made a good argument for it. Because we can see, like in episode 6, I remember this is the point she pointed out when she gets sniped by Pomni in her mask, in her happy mask break, she's still happier than ever, even with just her sad mask. So I don't think the happy mask inherently makes her happy, and I don't think sad mask inherently makes her sad. She can still like feel both masks. It's different, you know? And like in the finale, she's wearing her sad mask. She has her sad mask on. She basically abandons her happy mask, but she's still happy. So I think that was whoa. I think that was a good take on it. But besides that, yeah, okay, that's about all I wanted to say on that. So, hold on, let me focus on this one so I don't mess it up again. Cool. Let's keep going. Okay, never mind, I'm good. Another Event Horizon entry. I'm so good at this game. I'm actually kind of happy with how consistent. Well, I wouldn't say consistently because it's only like 3 times, and maybe I've been streaming for 30 minutes now. I want to say, maybe a little longer, but 3 Event Horizon entries this quick is pretty good, I think. Okay, let's see if I don't mess this up again. There we go. Again, that strat like feels really scary, but oh my god, that strat feels really scary, but it's really not that bad. I'm so like, what am I doing? I'm just dying early in Event Horizon for some reason. I think I'm rushing it. I gotta like slow down once I get there. For this channel, honestly, like I said before, it was originally going to be like Minecraft Hypixel content, because I used to be like really into that stuff. I still kind of am. I play Build Battle mostly now, whenever I feel like it. Whenever I feel like I'm a Minecraft itch, I'll usually play Build Battle for a little bit. And some Bed Wars from time to time. Maybe some bridge duels. But like I always use bridge. I'm not good enough to play that game. The tech, like not even like that. I'm gonna call it tech. Like it's the technique. Not the technique. That's literally the exact same thing. Like the strategy. There we go. The strategies in bridge have evolved. So like there's the levels to the game now. Like when I remember when it first released, you know, it's just like yeah. My cousin used to beat me so time was playing, but now I can pretty much beat him every single time without him even scoring 1 point. Yeah, I feel more confident, but like now, I can't even beat randoms online. He still sucks. I think we both were just really bad back then, but I was just like really bad back then. So, you know. But he's in college and I am a junior in high school, so what are you gonna do, you know? Oh, AP scores came out yesterday. I got 2 4s. So that was a fun morning, and then all my friends got 5s, and now I feel stupid. But it's okay. Because my friends are smarter than me, and they probably study more. They're kind of nerds. I play Celeste. What do you think I am? A Chad who plays football and does all that? No, of course not. I do go to the gym though, and I did. What am I doing? I was on swim team and water polo. That's like the extent of my athletic abilities, and I wasn't even like good at swim or water polo. I was decent at water polo actually, but I was ass at swim. I couldn't swim fast to save my life. I don't know. I think my fastest like 50 freestyle time was like a 29 something, which the most like it's impressive for like the average person. And I'm not gonna, but like for swimming nature, most people get like 27s. You know, like I have like a good 2 seconds to work off. I don't really swim too much anymore, honestly. With my job and making 6 acres next year, whoop-de-doo. I just don't think I have time to balance all that out. Especially if this grind takes me to the school year, I'm also going to be grinding this, so, you know. Because what's really more important? Athletic game, where I can be better and create or foster a community, or farewell Goldenberry, you know, like, what is the, what's the more important thing? Yeah, at the very least, I'm gonna have to end the stream by 2:30 at the very least, because I have to work, so, yeah. I'm just like, I don't know why I keep wave dashing randomly, like I'm just like trying to rush this, and I can't. I think I should just focus this on this one, and we'll just see how this goes when I actually focus. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna talk to him for a checkpoint, so I'm not like. No, maybe I won't actually. But no, I'll talk a little bit. I'll talk about Pokemon actually, because I was playing Pokemon Showdown with my friends last night. We were doing 2v2s. Of course, every team that I was on was kind of swept. Like, I'm not even good at Pokemon, but they're down as a Pokemon. So I just beat them every time. I have like a decent Pokemon knowledge, thanks to my cousin tutoring me on the intricacies of Pokemon competitive, of which I pay attention to like half of it. So like I know like type matchups and stats and Trick Room and building things around Trick Room and Trick Room. Like Trick Room is basically everything, I think. No, but like in reality, I know a bit of tech, you know, making good movesets. I think I can build a solid team, but it's not gonna be anything like great. My favorite Pokemon is Mega Golurk, and we are so, me, Golurk fans and Haxorus fans are low-key in the same boat. We have an awesome design, but we're low-key kind of weak. At least we got a Mega though. Haxorus fans didn't even get a Mega, and I feel bad for them, but our Mega still kind of sucks. Like, it was cool if like the first league were out in Champions and ZA, but after that, people realized, yeah, it's still kind of bad. And I really do, because Golurk's my favorite Pokemon. You know, I love Golurk so much. I want one of those plushies, the Sitting Futures line. I want a Golurk plushie. First Pokemon game I ever played was Pokemon Sword. And, like, my team, you could tell, like, I'd never played a Pokemon game. My team was Cinderace, because he was my starter, Gyarados, because, you know, again, I've never played a Pokemon game, and I thought, you know, I want to use a Gyarados, so, yeah, there was a few Gen 1 mod. Actually, there's only, like, 2, I think. I don't know, no, Blossom's Gen 2, actually, sorry. Blossom's Gen 2, I don't know why I was thinking that. So, yeah, Gyarados, Cinderace, Gyarados, Blossom, I had a... What else did I have? Oh, I had a Crustle. I had a Boltund. And what was my final mod? I used an Eternatus because I was like, oh, legendary, I'm gonna use that. I know I used an Eternatus on my champion team, but I'm talking like my playthrough, like my besides that. Who else did I use? Like going through all the types in my head to see if I missed the type that I would definitely use on my team. What is there? Was it an Obstagoon? Nah, I don't think it was an Obstagoon. Oh, I think it was a Corviknight. Because it was my Route 1 bird. Of course, I'm gonna use it. But like, I think Corviknight I took off for Eternatus because like flying Dragon type to 9-year-old me, those were pretty much the same. I don't even remember actually how old I was when that game came out. Young enough to not know any better. Pick Crustle to use on my team. Why would I use a Crustle again? Like, I never understood that. I'll never understand myself for picking that. Okay, cool. We're on this checkpoint again. That's fun. So, like, how do I miss that? Like, I don't... It's so annoying. I don't know how I keep doing that. Okay, I'm gonna do one more run, I think, actually, and I think I'm gonna hop off because I gotta leave at 2:30. So I should probably just start getting ready. Got like 30 minutes to get ready. So I think this is gonna be the last run of the stream. So it's time for me to lock in. I'm not ending on this. I'm not ending on that. That's dumb. Let me end on a run where I at least make it to power source, okay? honestly, I might, after the stream, I might take a little bit of a break from streaming because I'm thinking I should probably practice Event Horizon to Determination a little bit more. I know I've gotten a run to Determination, but I think that might have just been a fluke, honestly. When I practice it, I can rarely make it past Event Horizon Deathless. Mainly need to practice, like, from Comb Room to end. If I can get Comb Room to end 3 times in a row, I think I'll be ready. Or if I get to end at like less than 2 deaths, so I give myself 2 deaths to make it from Comb Room to end. If I can do that, then I think that's when I know I'll be ready for, you know. And when I'm in Comb Room, like with 2 deaths, I mean like 2 deaths past Determination, because I want to make sure I get Determination Deathless. I'm so ass. I don't know why I do a Jellyvator. I'm not even gonna let myself die. Alright, I'm gonna end stream here. I'm just tired as hell. Okay, alright. Well, I think that was a fairly okay stream. I mean, that's like, what, 3 Event Horizon entries? 2 of them, like, the first 2 rooms. But it's okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah. We're making progress. So, yay. At least we're making it to Event Horizon more often. I think eventually we'll be able, once I get Event Horizon, you know, consistent, I think we'll be fine. So, yep. Alright, bye guys. See you eventually, maybe never, I don't know. Whenever I feel like streaming again. Probably tomorrow, I don't have anything to do. Alright, bye.